Cannibalism. In Warcraft, it's the act of one sapient being eating another sapient being. It's not really something you think of when playing WoW, but in fact can be seen within quite a few cultures and peoples. Forsaken are the most well-known, but even Draenei, humans, and trolls have practiced some form of cannibalism. In Warcraft, there's quite a few reasons one person eats another. Some sustain themselves on the flesh of others, some use it to strike fear into their enemies, and still others use it as part of rituals. Because of this, what you end up finding is that cannibalism is much more common than you may think. Today, we're going to cover those who have consumed other intelligent beings, why they have done so, and what, if any, physical or cultural impacts it had on them personally or as a community. I think some of the cases here will be quite entertaining. Let's get into it. Trolls of all tribes have a long history of cannibalism, and although the Zandalari and Raventusk tribe do not practice it as a tribe, individuals of the Zandalari, such as Kalak, are well known for eating other trolls. Even the Darkspear tribe was cannibalistic until it joined the Horde and has since stopped. It seems to be the case that they wanted to fit in with the rest of the Horde members, or perhaps Thrall himself requested that they stop, as the Horde do not consider themselves cannibals. Many of the troll tribes cannibalized for sustenance. An example of this is during the Blood in the Snow scenario where Frostmane trolls are trying to cook dwarves to eat them. In the World of Warcraft Traveler book, trolls are arguing on how to eat a human boy, arguing on whether to cook him without draining the blood or by draining it and stripping the flesh from his bones, turning it into jerky instead. Zul'jin, in Tides of Darkness, also thinks about being able to behead the High Elven King and then devour it whole. Also, the act of eating another sentient being to a troll is also considered a way to show conquest or dominance over them, or to weaken the consumed spirit. Owilo Longomba in Dalaran has an obsession with cooking gnomes and bemoans that his tribe can no longer cannibalize. Other tribes, such as the Nathvor blood trolls, practice ritualistic cannibalism to gain the power of those consumed. Not only do they eat their own people, but also any others that get caught into their grasp. Of all the orc clans of Draenor, one clan were well-known cannibals. The Bone Chewer clan resided in Tanan Jungle and were made up of orcs who were exiled from the Bleeding Hollow clan for losing themselves to the dark impulses of the wilds of the jungle. They were given the name Bone Chewer because of their willingness to resort to cannibalism when food was scarce. By the time the Horde of Draenor invaded Azeroth through the Dark Portal, the clan was well known for ornamenting their bodies with broken bones and organs of their slain enemies. During the infiltration of Menethil Harbor, the Thunderlord clan and the Bone Chewer clan were to move silently, eliminating any guards before they could sound alarm. Those of the Thunderlord clan did so, but the first Bone Chewer who got a chance to take out a human guard did not kill him. Instead, the Bone Chewer leaped on the guard and started to feast on his legs while he was still alive, causing him to cry out that he was being eaten. Other orc clans, such as Thunderlord and Laughing Skull, are known to regularly eat intelligent creatures such as the Botany and Gron, though they are not sapient beings, so don't fully qualify. The Pale Orcs are orcs that have been twisted and corrupted by the Void on Draenor. These Pale Orcs have been seen dragging off victims to be eaten alive slowly. And we also have the case of Grommash Hellscream in the Lords of War animation. Grom had been captured by an ogre Imperator during a skirmish that left the Warsong clan nearly wiped out. The ogre tied Grom to a tree, letting him starve to death. Thinking he had broken Grom, he leaned in closely to hear him beg for death, only to have Grom bite him deeply through his neck. In the next scene, it seems to imply that he consumed the ogre to replenish himself, as it shows bones and bits of flesh at his feet, with blood still running down his mouth. Forsaken are well known for eating other people. In the short story Dark Mirror, Nathanos is eating a body of a freshly killed human. Some Forsaken, such as Shademaster Kirin, are very open about their craving for people. She has remarks such as,
I hunger. You look delicious. Have you brought fresh corpses?
A Forsaken can be seen in the introduction to Stormheim, eaten from a pile of corpses from the crashed Alliance airship. Those turned to undeath, such as the Gilnean traders in Silverpine, state a craving for human flesh, and a Forsaken priest in Hellfire Peninsula has to be reminded not to consume his injured allies for food. Rona Greenteeth is a vendor in the Darkmoon Fair who sells meat, which is implied to be other undead and orc. And previously in Cataclysm, all the way to Legion, she used to sell meats implied to be from all the other races as well, but those were removed in patch 7.2. All of this is to say, Forsaken are well-known cannibals. They naturally have this impulse put into them when they were a part of the Scourge, so that they could continue to spread undeath, perpetuating the cycle of making more Scourge. Feasting on others also rejuvenates them and gives them invigorating power. They are also known to cannibalize in the sense that they take new body parts off of fallen foes to replace their old ones. An example of this is in Before the Storm. A Forsaken Smith gets a replacement hand and complains that his new one is weaker than his old one. The Horde is obviously not accepting of cannibalism in the current day, but it seems likely that they might knowingly look the other way when Forsaken do it. Regardless, it's most likely frowned upon, even by other Forsaken, as you can receive comments from other Forsaken during their heritage quest telling you, do you really have to do that if you cannibalize during the quest? The Centaur who can be found on Kalimdor are well known to eat other people and especially their captives. The Tauren know this firsthand. The in-game book Hatred of the Centaur, which can be found in Thunderbluff, describes them as cannibals and ravagers. They didn't just eat Tauren, but have also tried eating gnomes as well. And in the Warcraft graphic novel Bloodsworn, an army of Centaur roasted and ate many captured orcs. They even seem to enjoy eating orc meat much more than Tauren meat. Some Worgen who lose control of themselves end up eating other people. This can be seen with the Worgen who were part of the wolf cult in Duskwood. They are noted as calling people both meat and food. Throughout the Curse of the Worgen graphic novels, it shows a character named Halford Ramsey try to control his bestial nature and trying to hold himself back from the temptation of eating other people. And not until the Night Elves taught the Worgen to control their inner beast through the ritual of balance did the Worgen lose this desire to cannibalize. And since Worgen are basically human, we can also quickly talk about humans here as well. Murloc fin soup is regularly eaten by humans and other races as well. Murlocs have their own language and are considered a sapient humanoid species. King Murgle, a Dita operative who is intent on studying Murlocs, says that the Winterfin tribe of Murlocs in the Borean tundra on Northrend are as intelligent as any of Azeroth's more civilized races. Also, Bran Bronzebeard has also stated that they are smarter than what other people think. If all of this is true, then humans have been casually cannibalizing Murlocs every time they eat a bowl of delicious Murloc fin soup. Also, dragons, as we know, who are very intelligent, have been able to be eaten by players since the Cataclysm with the Broiled Dragon Feast. Humans are also known to regularly eat lobstrock, which are aquatic humanoid lobsters, though these are considered more primitive than even Murlocs. And speaking of Murlocs, King Murgle reveals that Murlocs only eat 3 things: crabs, fish, and people, making them cannibals themselves. The Draenei, who have turned into Broken, have also been known to eat each other in desperation. Some Broken who were trapped in the Netherwing mines for 2 days resorted to cannibalism when they could not get out. Other Broken, named the Lost Ones, are Broken that were able to escape Draenor's destruction by going through the Dark Portal. They ended up making their home in the Swamp of Sorrows and have been known to capture and eat humans as well. Gnolls regularly state more bones to gnaw on when interacting with other humanoids. In Warcraft Traveler, we learn that when a Gnoll dies, the other Gnolls of that clan will devour their body, as they do not care where their meat comes from. It also seems sometimes Gnolls will go out and look for children to steal and eat, as it seems they are going to do with little Timmy from Warcraft 3, whom Arthas ended up rescuing from their clutches. We also have quite a few examples of Ogres in Outland capturing Mag'har orcs, or Broken, and keeping them in cages until they were ready to slaughter and eat them. Even the Ogres who reside in Dire Maul are cannibalistic, and they regularly keep humans and elves in cage until they're ready to be eaten, just like their ogre brethren in Outland. They either eat them whole or by cooking them without bleeding them. Funnily enough, Warcraft Traveler reveals that they hate the taste of night elf flesh. The giant Ettin of High Mountain have been known to capture and roast Tauren over an open fire to eat, and the evil Djardin of the Waking Shore have a culture that revolves around hunting and eating dragons. They also regularly drink dragon blood from their mugs. Far away on the Isle of Thunder reside the Saurok of the Scumblade tribe. One of their lines that you can hear them regularly say is, "Enemy is walking meat." When you're disguised as one of them, you can talk to them, and much of their dialogue is about eating other people, such as gnomes or blood elves, or even how the fighting between the Mogu and the Alliance and Horde leaves many corpses for them to scavenge and eat. And they will also eat each other if they think one is weaker than them, deciding them to be fitting only to serve as food. The ancient insectoid race, the Aqir, are known to eat all the races of Azeroth. Their related cousins, the Mantid, also practice cannibalism as well. When they hatch from their eggs, their main goal is to eat and sustain themselves. Amongst themselves, they'll devour the weakest of the hatchlings, allowing the strongest of them to prevail. When they are hatched and released during the time of a Mantid swarm, the newly hatched Mantid are directed at the Mantid's enemies, such as the Pandaren, and they proceed to devour them instead of each other. This Mantid cannibalism is also practiced all the way up to the Mantid Empress, as when a new Empress is chosen, the new one devours the remains of the previous one. In Khazalgar, the evil Kobyss enjoy hunting the Arathi who live there and devouring them. They regularly send out hunting parties to capture as many as they can to slaughter and eat, or to carry them back with them. And lastly, we have dragons. Dragons are not considered to normally be cannibalistic, though we have some dragons that have been known to consume other humanoid beings. For instance, Alexstrasza devoured the orc torturer and captor when she was freed from her chains. And Onyxia blatantly says to the adventurers to enter her lair, "How fortuitous! Usually I must leave my lair in order to feed." And of course, when dragons used to be proto-dragons, Galakrond would consume dozens of other proto-dragons and would absorb their life essence. The result of this was him growing incredibly massive and gaining all sorts of mutations, causing him to have eyes and limbs grow all over his body. Not pleasant. So, as you can see, more than a few of the races we know and interact with have practiced or still practice cannibalism. Some do it out of tradition, some do it out of desperation, and others to gain power. Cases like that with the Forsaken will likely continue into the future, as it's still an active part of being undead for some of them, especially if they rely on it for giving them strength or even replenishing their body parts. But cases as with the trolls seem to reduce the chances of cannibalism as time goes on, especially as with more troll tribes join the Horde. Many of the other humanoids that regularly eat the races of our player characters are considered enemies by us, so don't feel too bad if you have the desire to do a little cannibalizing yourself and make yourself some Centaur, Murloc, Gnoll, Saurok soup for dinner. I hope you were able to find some enjoyment and gain some new knowledge in today's video. If you found the video elucidating and enlightening, then please join me again to discuss more mundane, obscure lore in the world of Warcraft. This is Stormwind University, signing off.